Okay, so we have another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. This is my Bretonnians against an Empire army. And for those of you who've been following this series, this is an Empire list that I played several games ago, and he beat me, and my just writing some fluff about it, my general swore revenge, and he's been fighting his way back to the Empire, clawing his way through orcs and demons, and now he's back in the Empire to face the same army list that beat him before to see if he can beat him. Yeah, so there we are. That's what the board looks like. When we were deploying, I just kind of assumed that he would put stuff on both hills, and so I spread my stuff across the board. And when all is said and done, he has almost all of his points in the upper left-hand corner. He's got some Knights of the White Wolf with a level 2 wizard. He's got some Outriders, some Inner Circle Knights with a Warrior Priest. On the hill, he's got a Hellstorm Rocket Battery, a cannon. There's a level 2 wizard with the cannon crew. He's got a big block of great swords behind the hill, Archlector in a War Altar, and then he's just got all that. Handgunners with a detachment of, with a couple detachments, as you can see, swordsmen with a couple detachments. Those loose models on the right are huntsmen. Then he's got a mortar and some more knights. So facing him, on my far left, I've actually got some Pegasus Knights, some Bowmen. I've got 6 Knights Errant, and those have the banner that you cannot stand and shoot. So I purposely put them there to go after the Outriders. I've got my General. He's got the Virtue of Knightly Temper. So for every wound that goes through on an enemy before any kind of saves, he gets that many attacks again. So big block of Knights Errant, big block of Knights of the Realm with a Damsel and BSB. Bunch of men-at-arms, big block of questy knights with another damsel, another big block of knights errant, this one with the errantry banner, fast cav, and 15 archers. And I put those archers there because I assumed he would put something on that hill, and I was just going to shoot at him. But yeah, that didn't really work out. So there's another look at my far right. I guess that'd be my left flank, and more of my middle. So Empire turn 1. This is the same opponent that plays Ogres, and he loves having just a bunch of units out there for redirect. And you see all those nothing points worth of redirects out there in the middle of the board, and then again all of his points are stuck up there in the left-hand corner. But he has that War Altar in the middle that just causes me endless grief because he's unbreakable and it's very difficult to wound him. Especially because he can issue a challenge, and even if I get the charge, that means only one guy gets to attack. So there's movements. He does some magic and shooting on me, kills 3 of the Knights Errant, and even though my general is on the left side of the screen within 12 inches, I fail my panic test. And first turn of the game, big block of Knights Errant run off the table. And again, that was 9 strong when this started, so that was a very unpleasant start to the game. So Bretonnian turn 1. I declare a charge with my general into his Knights of the White Wolf, and I fail it by ½ an inch. So I'm hanging out there 1 inch in front of him. My Pegasus Knights declare a charge against his wizard, and he fled, and they got an enemy in the way charge into the same unit of the Knights of the White Wolf, but only one of them had the distance. So I'm in combat with him with Pegasus Knights, but only one guy's there. So my thinking was, okay, if I lose that battle, those Pegasus Knights are going to flee. I'll have that unit of Knights Errant right behind him that can countercharge on my next turn. If they don't, I have a charge I can make with those Knights Errant against his Outriders, and they can't stand and shoot. So I'll have to withstand 1 round of shooting from them, but then I'll get a charge. So I feel fairly comfortable with how that worked out over there. Otherwise, on the right, I'm just moving up. His Knights on the right-hand side are causing me a little bit of grief, but I'm not too worried about it. I've got the fast cavalry direct. I've got that unit of Knights Errant that I can use to take care of him if I need to, and then I'll have plenty of time to move over, to join in the rest of the fighting. So there's another close look at the combat. Again, my general's not in there. It's just the Pegasus Knights. When all's said and done, he does a wound to my champion, and I do nothing against him. But we hold. So Empire turn 2. The level 2 wizard that fled failed his rally test, so he ran off the board. So he's got one level 2 wizard left with the cannon crew, and he's got a warrior priest and his archlector. But getting this guy off the board certainly helps with, against his magic phase. Otherwise, he really hangs back with his knights in the far right, and then he brings his detachments up to mess with me, and he just turns his war altar, just because he knows if I charge and they flee and I run them down, I'm going to go my full distance, and he's going to get a counter charge with me. Now over on the left, he actually he charged his warrior priest out of the unit of knights, of inner circle knights, and charged my Pegasus knights with that guy, and otherwise he just moved him, as you can see. He's missing a couple outriders because of my bowman from the last turn. So there's another look at that. During his magic phase, I went ahead and used the silver mirror as a dispel scroll when this guy did his prayer, because I wanted to put a wound on him. He's down to 1 wound, and I'm going to issue a challenge with my champion, and with the combined 4 attacks, I'm hoping to do 1 more wound on him. So that was the thought there. So now he's shooting at me, and I'm starting to lose knights. Takes away half this unit. Takes a couple guys off there. So his magic and his shooting is typically hurting me a little bit. So here we go after combat, and his warrior priest kills my champion, and I get no chance to attack him back. So that silver mirror ends up being almost totally wasted. So Bretonnian turn 2. This, I thought I was being so clever. Instead of taking the Knights Errant into the Outriders like I had planned, and in hindsight what I probably should have done, because I probably would have killed the Outriders and overran into the flank of that unit of Knights and very easily could have taken all that off the board. What I thought I'd do is take my general, instead of charging into his Knights of the White Wolf, charged him into the wizard and the cannon crew. Because I figure, 1, I can get that other wizard off the board, should win this combat very, very easily, and then I'm in a nice position just to cause havoc. There's so many other things I can charge up there. And the Knights Errant could still swing around and join in this combat. And I thought between the Pegasus Knights and those Knights Errant, I could take them down. Otherwise, and again, I think that was kind of a mistake. I took my unit of Knights of the Realm, charged that 1 detachment, and they fled. I ran them down and landed me right in front of his Archlector. That was a huge mistake. And I considered it too. I should have charged just with my BSB. Because if my BSB was out there, he might have held, and if he didn't, if he charged me with his Archlector, I could flee and I'd probably be safe. But if you look at this, if he charges me and I flee, I run right into his Huntsman and get destroyed. And it also takes him into my questing Knights. My big block of Knights Errant, I should have charged the Huntsman, but I was kind of, I don't know if I just forgot to, or if I was worried about those Knights on the right, I don't know, but when it came down to combat, I was looking at it going, why on earth did I not charge my Knights Errant into those Huntsmen? And again, I really think I just forgot to. But turn 2, seeing some big mistakes going on there, because as you can see, if he charges in and breaks my BSB's unit, he's going to get a free charge into the flank of the Questing Knights unit. So that's not good in the slightest. Here on the right, I'm redirecting with my fast cav, and I take my 15 archers and I spread them out a little bit because I'm going to start shooting. And so I moved 4 inches, spread them out enough that I could still shoot this turn, which is a waste because they didn't kill anything anyway. So here on the left, my general gets into a challenge with the wizard, and I kill him, do a bunch of extra wounds, and his unit still holds in combat. My Knights Errant kill a couple of Knights of the White Wolf, but then they turn around and kill one of my Pegasus Knights and wins combat by 1, and even though my general's nearby, I fail my break test with the Knights Errant and they run away. So I got way too cocky with that. I really, really should have taken the general into that unit, issued a challenge, killed off that warrior priest, and I think overall just would have been better off. But there you have it, and that's where we're at the end of turn 2. Here's a closer look. The wizard's dead, my general's locked in combat, and there we are.